we've got a caller in coming in live. We've got Gerbert calling in, friend of the show. Gerbert, how are you doing? You're looking fresh, looking good. How's everything going on in your neck of the woods?
I mean, things are pretty dang good, I must say. Some people have noticed something different about me. They think maybe it's a gleam in my eye, maybe it's a rosiness to my cheeks. No, I'm wearing a headband.
I love it. I love it. You're very, I don't know. I don't know if you got a new camera or if you're on a new diet or maybe more potatoes in the soup. I don't know, but you're looking lively. So you think you're looking better than ever, my man.
I think it must be the headband.
Mm, it always is. I think it's great. But um, on the kind of front, I know that we had you on the show a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. I can't remember, but we were chatting about the chain link stuff. You had a great insight into the chain link stuff, and we were talking about the post they put out last week about integrating the HBAR USD price feed to Polygon. So like it seems like a lot of stuff is happening with Chainlink, and I mean we're also talking about governing council members. Are they building? So we've got a governing council member that hasn't attended any governing council meeting minutes this year. Yet it sounds like they're going to be launching their Oracle services and stuff for Hedera soon. So it's like interesting to see. I'm just interested to hear your thoughts on as this Chainlink story is developing.
Well, as far as someone being productive who's not showing up to a long, boring meeting, um, I can't say I'm surprised personally.
Right.
I've seen the minutes for those council meetings. They're not exactly thrilling. We'll say that.
No.
There's not a whole lot going on there. I think the recent one they were just talking about what are we gonna get for lunch? What flavor of yogurt's the best flavor? Some said blueberry, some said strawberry.
Hmm.
It seemed to be a berry heavy lineup there, but that's about the kind of stuff they talk about. So I'm glad that they're getting stuff done.
What was the consensus on the berries? Were any other options presented, or was there a consensus between blueberries or strawberries?
Ubisoft came out and said boysenberry,
My God. Of course they did.
which, yeah, first meeting they showed up to and they come out with boysenberry. Okay,
Well, I
all
mean,
right.
it's a contentious topic, so I get it. But yeah, reading through those minutes was like a bit of a snore fest. And it
Yeah.
was 3 months worth of them. So I don't know. It definitely feels like some strange happenings in a good way or a bad way, or we don't know, are kind of happening. But um, just as like I was talking about at the beginning of the show, like I felt like when June hit, we entered like this kind of crazy period in the ecosystem of like so much anger, frustration, learning, all these different types of things. And Gerber, I was interested in kind of hearing like continuing through this feels like beginning of a new era in this ecosystem. Like, where's your head at right now, especially after the last couple weeks here?
Well, I definitely understand why people's was mad, why people's was angry, but I can just talk about my feelings, and my feelings are that we've hit our low. It's I think it's maybe I'm not talking about token price here, but I think it's only up from here as far as
Hmm.
sentiment. Um, it's interesting because the ecosystem in which we live, we you and I have been around for a good amount of time,
Hmm.
and there was pretty much for a long time there was like nothing going on. And people were
Yeah.
like, yes, my goodness, a new NFT collection came out today. Wow, wow. We're getting these big old blockbuster news, and everybody's like, yeah, but I'm still mad. I don't care. I'm still angry. It's fine to be angry, but things are actually better than ever on Hedera, at least as far as our network and ecosystem's concerned. I know there's a lot of problems. We're going to fix them. Um, I'm feeling super optimistic.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning. I stubbed my toe like I do every morning, but it wasn't as bad. It
Hmm.
didn't hurt as much. And I think we can really correlate that to the experience of the entire HBAR and hedera ecosystem. We're
I
stubbing our
think
toe every day, but it's feeling okay.
I think that's a good way of putting it. I do think that we are stubbing our toes a lot, and I think that you're right. I think that we got to learn that we're not going to stop stubbing our toe. That's just part of this industry. It's about how do you make stubbing your toe a part of your life? How do you get around it? How do you embrace the industry? And I think that for a long time, hedera thought, we're going to be the first network that never stubs our toe. And they learn that you can't really avoid stubbing your toe. You got to stub your toe a few thousand times to get ahead. And to me, coin market cap, I see it as who stubbed their toe the most. Number one, Bitcoin. Number two, Ethereum. I mean, those are some stubbed toes. If they have any
Those are
toes
looking
left.
gnarly.
Those are looking very gnarly. So that's a good point. That reframes my thinking. We got to keep stubbing some toes because that means you're moving forward. You're taking steps forward. Even though you're banging into furniture, you're still stepping forward and moving forward in the industry. So I like that. That's a good attitude, Gerbert. I appreciate it.
It's feedback at the end of the day. Ow!
You want to know what it is? It's feedback.
Yeah.
So I'm curious too, like, I'm just kind of going through some stuff, through the news and everything. And, I saw, and I'm going to talk about this a little more, but like I saw that Swirlds Labs changed their name to Hashgraph. And I was curious, from you, Gerbert, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I was very happy to see that news because it's really hard for me to pronounce. It's smur. It's really hard for me to pronounce the word that is made when you combine shared and worlds, and also you
Right.
throw a random I in there that's not in either of those words. You put that in the middle of the new made up word. I think it's pronounced smurls.
It's something.
Something like that. I could say
something.
Hashgraph. And also, hedera doesn't exactly have a great history of picking names for things. I'll say that. They're not good at that. They're bad at that. I
No.
think. I don't think you have to look that far to figure that out. So it's good that they picked a name for their development team. That is something people know and people don't look at and say, "Are you? Is that the company that got the yogurt we ordered at the GC meeting? The one with the little swirls in there?"
Yeah, like we've got the website here. They did like a whole new website. We got Eric, the CEO here. We've got all the different stuff happening. We got May. We've got Red Swan. We got Acor here. So like they got the new website. They're popping. They got a new brand. They got the logo. What do you think? What do you think of the logo, Gerbert? I've heard some feedback on the logo. Some people like it. Some people don't like it. What are you thinking?
Let me see it again. Let me see it again.
Here. Let me show you. So this is the logo. It's a hash.
What?
It's a hashtag
Okay.
or a hash graph.
So what's that stuff in the background?
I think that might be outer space, maybe. I don't
It kind of
know.
looks like a bubble.
It is a bubble. They have it's hard to find a version of the logo here. There's their Twitter. So there it is right there.
Okay, that's all right. That's a little less confusing. I mean, it's not great because here's my thing.
What's your thing?
We see in both cases you just showed me, it's cropped as a circle. What happens when it's not cropped as a circle?
That is a good question. That is a very good question.
Yeah. Does those little tendrils end? Or are we just permanently cropped?
Now that's going to keep me up at night because, yeah, like, what's outside the circle?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm afraid. Change is scary, and this is
Yeah.
making it 10 times more scary. I think I understand what they were doing with it because they're like, hey, hash sign, hashtag. Okay, we know what that looks like. And sort of, if you like chop off some parts of the HBAR H and extend others, kind of looks like a hashtag. I think that's what they were going for just from looking at it for 1 second. But I need to know what the full logo is because if there's an implied cropping with your logo, I gotta say it's gonna look bad. You know, you put it on a
Yeah.
thing with like at Davos, it's not gonna look good. If that was at like the center of karate combat, you'd be like, huh? I know the H bar logo's in a circle, but
We
there's
have to
not an
work.
implied distance.
We have to work to figure out what's outside the circle with this logo. What is it connected to? Maybe this is just a small, maybe what we're seeing is just a small piece of some other crazy thing. Like maybe this is, I don't know what this could be. Now my brain's going. But beyond the logo, like I'm trying to think, I think that the main question other people had was, what else is changing at Swirlds? Like they have the new CEO, they got this, they got that. And this rebrand definitely, it can't just be for no reason. There's got to be some kind of other stuff happening. So that's where my head's at now, like looking for those signals of like what else could be happening.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
thinking it was really interesting. I don't know if you saw that video, Gerbert, but it was the little video where Lehman was talking about, and he was mentioning, I think for the first time in years, like the shared worlds type thing of like, you've got a private ledger for your game that connects to Hedera and all these different types of things. And we also saw Eric talking about special purpose networks and private networks. And Lehman's talking like, oh, these shared networks could be public or private or this or that. And it could be for a specific country or whatever. So my brain, I don't know if your brain is thinkumulating in the same way, but I'm kind of thinkumulating like, could this be the shared worlds type thing they want to push forward? Like, is this the next step for Hashgraph doing shared worlds? Is that what special purpose networks is? I don't know, but it gets my brain thinker going.
Well, I mean, testnet's kind of a Garbo nightmare. So some people might want a private hashgraph to do testing that people can't always see, and
Hmm.
testnet is kind of stinky.
It is. Testnet is stinky. I will say that. Whenever I go into testnet, I'm like, PU.
Somebody open a window in there, yeah. I
Someone
mean, they got to
please
do
open a
weird
window.
resets. They have to postpone resets. It just seems very chaotic. And sometimes they push updates to skip the testnet altogether.
That is
So they must
true.
not like it.
I think that the test net is like that weird spare bedroom in your house that maybe you don't use a ton, but you invite guests to stay in and they open the door and they're like, were these sheets changed recently? This is a little stinky in here. We got, as you said, we got to open a window. I think that we got to turn that spare bedroom back into an office or a TV room or something cool. We got
Or
to
a
get it.
gift wrapping room.
That would be
If you're
nice.
talking about utility, I mean, anytime you have to wrap gifts, like it's always hard to find enough counter space. That's why I have a gift wrapping room.
You have a gift wrapping room.
Yeah.
That's
Don't you? Don't you?
no, I don't. But I mean, from what you're
Well,
saying,
where do you wrap your gifts? Are you selfish? You don't give people gifts? What's wrong with you?
to be honest, on the floor in my office, and now I'm feeling a little bit silly. I'm feeling like I'm really underutilizing my potential.
On the floor?
Yeah, on the floor. The gifts that I give people come from my floor.
That's not sanitary. That's
No,
not sanitary.
no. And here I am talking crap about the test net, and I don't even have my own gift wrapping situation in order. So I need to shut my mouth. So
Yeah.
fair point, Gerbert. Fair point. Well,
I mean, if you don't have a gift wrapping room, what are you doing? I mean, what other rooms do you need? Bedroom, bathroom, gift wrapping room.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that makes sense. You could use your gift wrapping room as a bedroom, but it would be difficult to use your bedroom as a gift wrapping room. It's not, it does. I get it now. I see what you're saying. Okay. I get it now. Gerbert, the insights you bring to this show, every time I feel like I learn something new. I feel like we really get closer into what we need to be focusing on this ecosystem. So I really appreciate you stopping by. I think that I have a whole new outlook on a few of these different things, especially when it comes to the Swirlds rebranding. I'm now so curious about what's outside that logo. That's the questions we should be asking. Was there anything else you wanted to chat about while you're here? Any cool updates from the neighborhood over there?
Well, a salamander did say some interesting stuff to me, but he said, "Don't tell anybody the details. Just say that next week's going to be interesting." So next week's going to be interesting. What does that mean? I can't tell you. This is what is known in the crypto space as an announcement of an announcement.
Very interesting. Okay, so we've got an announcement of an announcement from the salamander in the neighborhood. Is this the? I like to respect sources. Is this the same salamander that gave you the tips about Chainlink?
Yes, it's good old Sal.
Sal.
Sal E. Mander. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Last names too. Okay. So I mean, if this isn't putting your sources right out front, I mean, Sal E. Mander, shout out. That's big stuff. So the next 2 weeks. Okay. I'm. Like you said, there's nowhere but up from here, Gerbert.
I mean, I hope so. I'm happy that Charles is coming out saying things, saying words. We like being heard. That was early on. That was the main thing that I was railing on about when I was ranting on here. It's just, we just want to know that if we go, somebody heard it.
That's actually, I didn't have a chance to ask you that. Maybe real quick, what was your takeaway from that letter that Charles put out?
Bothering to write a letter to the community is some of the best news I've seen in quite some time. It made me happy. Some people are like, well, but that didn't address every single concern that we had. It's like, do you remember what it was like before Letter? Letter was good. I mean, we had Tweet Thread that said, shut up.
Right.
That's the best, Daddy came by and talked to us. Mommy's just been smacking us.
Right.
Just smacking us, putting us in the crib, not talking to us, just only using the little baby microphone to say, go to sleep.
Yeah, locking us in the gift wrapping room.
You go to sleep, you little hedera weirdo. You go to sleep. You shut up on Twitter. Shut up, weirdo. But Daddy was nice.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's how I see it too. So Gerbert, appreciate you stopping by as always. Just eye-opening, brain-opening, toe-stubbing insights. Just really appreciate you, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
Right on. Okay. Gerbert stopping by. Always fantastic. And it gets you thinking, I mean, when you think about the network, when you think about all these changes happening, it is very, very easy to kind of be like, when's the next thing? When's the next thing? When's the next thing? But it is important as well to kind of take stock in what's happened. And like we've been saying, these last 60 days or so, I think that so much has been happening. I think that it feels like so much has been happening in the public, in the community that we can all see. But I do get the sense that like even more is happening behind the scenes. And I went deep into Charles's letter, did a big analysis on it. So you can check out my thoughts on that. There's a YouTube playlist of clips from the show. It was last week's episode. So if you're curious on my thoughts on that,